Go, 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 let's get it. I'm a trapping fanatic, that shit automatic, so I cannot turn it on or off. Bitches all on my dick, then she hop on my dick, I'm like, why you keep hopping on and off? Your bitch all on my dick, she be doing the most, I tell her, little bitch, you so extra. And my gun up on me, but not run up on me, niggas, they wanna fight, they some wrestlers.
Yoichi Isagi is seen preparing for his match against another school. This way, that their victory would be guaranteed. And as a striker, he's always been gifted with a natural talent. But the amount of work that he's put in far exceeds that talent that he was given, which makes him a truly terrifying opponent. After tying his shoes, he notes that today's lucky item is a football. To him, that was strange, but it also means that today will be good, and there will be a great challenge that will cross his path. Isagi nods and he stands up, pushing his glasses further on his face. Isagi soon takes a step onto the pitch where this grand stadium and the crowd cheers. The only thing on his mind at this point was victory. Winning here means all the work that he's put in for the last couple of years would finally be worth it. The ball sits at the center of the field, where Isagi would start with it, and overhears another player. Yoichi Isagi, Japan's own prodigy, known for his insane accuracy when shooting. Sorry to tell you this, but today is when your story ends. Oh, is that so? Well, in my eyes, this seems to be just the beginning. Kira didn't know what he meant until the whistle was blown, signifying that the match had begun. Isagi heads forward alone, right into the midfielders of the opposing team. He doesn't even look around and sends the ball to his left where his winger was. Good, now back to me. Isagi spins around his defender, getting to an open area where he's given possession of the ball once again. Now, in the center of the opponent's half, he looks up. Well, I guess I have no other choice but to win. Isagi rolls the ball in front of him and then basically runs in, performing a free kick-like motion, as this caused the ball to glide through the air and into the back of the net, earning his team their first point. The team and the crowd cheers for the player with outstanding precision. Isagi pushes his glasses back onto his face, further declaring that good fortune is on his side today. Kira from the opposing team states that this must be his godlike accuracy, a nickname given to his incredible shooting based on how many goals he had scored this season. And he was incredible. It was going to be more trouble than he and his team had expected. Now that the game has reset, all the players against Isagi were on high alert, as Kira sends the ball into one of his wingers, who heads into the half. He's defended well and is forced to pass back to Kira, who was wide open. It was a great pass, in fact. Isagi then appears in the way, almost predicting this pass, as he intercepts it, causing Kira's confusion as a result. Just, where did he come from? And how did he know that I'd be the one getting the ball? Wait, none of that even matters. He's still far from goal, so I can stop him here. Kira reacts fast, as he gets on the side of Isagi, who is sprinting back with the ball. I won't let you get away this time. Kira sticks his leg out in order to steal the ball, or make Isagi at least lose possession of it. Instead, Isagi stops running and looks up past Kira. The opposing player slowly turns his head to make eye contact with Isagi. No, he couldn't shoot from here. He's not even close to the 18-yard line. Isagi's own eyes begin glowing as he reminds everyone watching, who said I need to be close to score a goal? My range is this entire area. This is when we would finally see it. Isagi's very own weapon, the precision zone. Around Isagi, it stretches far and wide, with Kira getting a sense of danger as he looks at the serious expression of the striker, and he tries to jump in the way to block the shot. Seeing that his path would be blocked, Isagi would fake his shot and turns the other way. It won't be that easy to stop me at all, but I commend your efforts. He kicks the ball, causing it to rip through the air with a crack-like noise as it heads into the back of the net. Isagi states now that nothing can truly stop him, and he was right, leading his team to a 4-1 victory, allowing them to move on to the next match, which will be the championship, and they win that as well. And Isagi is seen on a later date training instead of celebrating. He was practicing a shot over and over again on a private practice field. I need to focus, even more than this. The perfect shot? That won't be enough for me to do my best. I'll have to improve my precision zone as well. Once Isagi returns home, he notices that he got a letter in the mail from an unknown entity, which was inviting him to a program known as Blue Lock, as a meeting would be held for it very soon. Isagi's parents ask him what he thinks of it, and he states that he'll go, just to see. If it's a step towards becoming the best shooter in the world, then he'll take it. They would wish him luck as he sets off the next morning to the facility with another lucky item. This time, it was an old vintage pocket watch. Isagi ignores all others around him and continues walking towards the stage. Kira didn't even get to speak to him this time. Jinpachi Ego makes his grand entrance to the strikers in the facility and fills their heads with ideas of the future. The short speech would end as many rush through the gates to register for Blue Lock. Ego then sits down, with Anri pointing out that one person still remains here with them. They turn to face Isagi, who was sitting there on the stage as well. Jinpachi Ego. I don't care to be the best striker in the world. I aim to be the most perfect shooter in football. But this idea of competing with others like me, well, it makes my blood boil and excites me. So, I'll indulge in this Blue Lock competition of yours to accomplish my own goals. Say what you want, Yoichi Isagi, but I've seen you play with my very own eyes. Being the best shooter will not satisfy your hunger for greatness, but I'll let you learn that for yourself. Isagi stands up and walks through the gate as well, telling Ego that he's surely mistaken. Once Isagi returns to the facility on a bus, he's given a uniform for Team V with the number 265 on it. Not bad, I guess, but I'll have to meet my teammates as well. Isagi heads over and enters a room with someone asleep, another exercising, and one person trying to organize the rest. Everyone around turns seeing him walk in, and they also see his number. So, this is my team. Seems I can work with this. Ego then appears on the screen, and a ball drops down to the ground, with the lowest rank in the room being it for the game of tag. He tries to attack the others but can't manage to hit anyone. It gets to the point where he has to turn to Isagi, who is just sitting down looking at the timer, and aims the ball right towards his face, only for Isagi to then trap it and send it right back into him, with so much force that it knocks the player out temporarily. The timer then runs out, with that nameless player being kicked out, and the rest would then introduce themselves, with Ryo claiming Nagi, who ended up being the best striker, as many didn't like this statement and stood silent. Isagi was the first to speak, laughing. Is something funny? No. I just think it's great fortune that the three of us ended up on the same team. Alright. I like your methods and your attitude. Your passes will make Nagi the best striker and me the best shooter that Japan has ever seen. Ryo's eyes would light up, showing hints of his ego being fueled by Isagi's words. They shake hands, agreeing to help each other out, and Ryo turns back to Nagi to tell him the good news, but the prodigy was still asleep. Surprisingly, for the first couple of days, Team V has no problems at all. Their team already had great physical stats without even taking it seriously, although Isagi seemed to focus on this training heavily, as what it could do for him later on. It concludes and a couple days would pass as they are told that the first selection will begin and how it will work. With their first match coming up, they need to decide a formation and their positions. Ryo states that Nagi will be the striker of their team, and Isagi states so will he, as our best course of action is to run a 4-3-3. Ryo, you'll be a striker as well, but drop back more into a center attacking mid to see the field better. Zantetsu, you should stay on the wings for easy passes on offense and defense. As for the rest of you, switch positions around as you please and figure out what fits for you. Ryo then asks Isagi how he wants his passes, and where his shooting zone is. Isagi then walks up to the whiteboard, and, with a marker, he circles a large area, sharking everyone. It doesn't matter where you pass it. I'll score, because that's my job. A couple more hours do pass as we see Team V walking out onto the pitch. Zantetsu, Ryo, Nagi, and Isagi would be leading the team. They look across at Team Y, seeing nothing special, and note they don't have any real heavy hitters. Ryo tells everyone to treat this like a practice match, since it should be easy. Get a feel for everyone and their playstyle. Ryo starts with the ball at the top of the key, and then sends it right to Zantetsu. He runs ahead with the ball at his feet, initiating the attack. Okawa gets in the path of Zantetsu, only to be blitzed by his pure speed. So, that's all Team Y has to offer. This is just a practice match. The striker then spins around another defender and sends the ball right to Isagi, who was wide open. Show me that shot of yours. Isagi jumps, trapping it with his chest, and notes that Nico is pretty annoying. Isagi then places an arm out, bodying him away from the ball and clearing his path even further. Ryo states that this might be even more fun than he imagined. Isagi pulls his leg back, stating that all the requirements for success have been met. A loud boom is heard as Isagi scores the first goal of the match. This leaves not only Team Y, but his own team in complete shock at his shooting prowess. Nico just looks at Isagi, who only stared at his own hands. Wait, how did he shoot from this far? And who is he? No, there's no way that this one team has so many monsters. He looks back at Isagi to see Nagi, Ryo, and Zantetsu surrounding him, all with their respective auras showing. Team Y starts with the ball again and tries to form an attack, but Ryo and the defenders of his team would stop it. Our turn, Nagi. He then lobs the ball to the prodigy, who traps it, saying the pass was perfect as usual. Nagi turns his head, scoring a goal with ease, and Isagi notes the two of them are almost the same, but he states that he'll become an even better shooter than Nagi. As of now, my weapons are my long-range and mid-range shots. I want even more than that. I want to be able to score every time my feet touch the ball. Team Y then continues to lose possession of the ball and isn't able to score on their next attempt either. One of Team V's players sends a lob to Isagi, who runs closer to half to trap it. Nico says that there's no way he'd shoot from there, and Isagi notes that even he is out of his range. However, this place was meant just for him. He dribbles a little bit ahead and rolls the ball in front of him. Even Ryo was shocked. This guy's unbelievable. He just set up a free kick. Nico, seeing this as well, slid in the way to stop the shot. Isagi instantly pulls the ball back and states it was a trap. He then rolls it even closer and curves it towards goal. It then curves right in with Isagi's eyes seeming to glow. Ego, while watching, looks at Isagi. So, Yoichi Isagi, you plan to become the world's best shooter by improving your precision zone. I just wonder how long you can keep up that before you realize it's pointless. Henry asked him what he means, and Ego lays back in the chair. The world of football is quite a mysterious one, with all types of talent in every position. So scoring from a distance will only work on mediocre goalkeepers. Yoichi Isagi will have to soon see failure, and that's when his real ego will awaken. But until then, he'll live in a false world of football. Later on, we then see that Team Y is completely destroyed as they've lost all hope against this team. Nico turns his head slowly to read the final score, which would state 9-0, as Isagi led with 4 goals, Nagi with 3, and both Zantetsu and Ryo had 1. Team V celebrated this victory while exiting the pitch. While changing and heading to the showers, Isagi is approached by Nagi. You beat me this time. What are you going on about now? You managed to score more goals than me, Isagi. I thought about it for a couple of minutes, and at first, the thought of you doing so didn't bother me at all. But the more I thought about it, our two dreams will always clash. For me to be the best striker and win a World Cup with Ryo, I have to become the best shooter and keep scoring. Isagi then looks up with a blank expression before smirking. Think about it. Think about it however you want. But I'll still become the best shooter. I have no desire to become the best striker and save Japan or win a World Cup. Nagi then grabs Isagi by his hair. I'm going to use you to become even stronger. Because once you feel like you're the best, I'll devour you and all your skills and take them as my own. Isagi pushes him off of him and heads to the showers to clear his head. While washing, Isagi reminisces the match that they just played. It makes sense how he was able to score, but it also felt so easy, like nothing truly challenged him. Sure, some of his shots were outside of precision zone, but even that was easy to overcome. Is this what it's going to be like once I become the best shooter? Or is there even more that could challenge me? Isagi heads to the dining hall later to eat when he's approached by Kira and Kunigami. Yo Isagi, is that you? I didn't know you came here as well. Isagi turns to him nodding and then sitting down, with the two of them actually joining him. Kira introduces himself and Kunigami to the striker, who ignores him and just keeps eating. Kira then boasted about how he was able to score a goal in the last match, as Kunigami would basically boost his ego, saying that it came out of nowhere and the ball felt like it fell right in front of him. Kunigami then boasted about his own mid-range goal, and Isagi looks up with an exhausted expression. 1 goal each, huh? Not bad for the two of you, but don't get so high up, especially in a place like this. I'm done with my meal. Isagi then leaves it on the table and walks away. Ryo comments how they annoyed Isagi, and Kira asks who he was, but Ryo didn't even explain. I'd be careful about boasting to that guy in particular. Just in case you were curious, he scored 4 goals in our last match. Both Kira and Kunigami give the same perplexed expression, with Ryo walking off while laughing, stating he's gonna wonder what type of player Yoichi Isagi will become while in Blue Lock. Meanwhile, Isagi is then seen walking up on a practice field alone to take some shots to blow off some of his steam, with the words of Nagi ringing in his head over and over again. Our two dreams will always clash? Is that so, Seishiro Nagi? Well, bring it on. I'll prepare my mind and body for war.